in terms of seeded teams, this is what it would be. And there's a
Right.
little bit of movement with, hosts and whatever of regionals.
For sure.
So the bottom line being, at this moment, these would be the 4 seeded teams in each regional.
Wow.
Heart rate increasing.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to another amazing episode of Flipping Out with Bridget Sloan. I am your host, Bridget Sloan, and this is a podcast where you are going to hear from my amazing guests that I have lined up for you, whether that is an athlete, a coach, a fellow ESPN analyst, or really anybody who wants to come on here and share their story. That story could be anything from success to failure and everything in between. And today's guest, I am so excited because she is the first ever returning guest. She is a University of Michigan alum. She is a Big Ten analyst, and she is one of my dearest friends. Please give it up for Miss Olivia Karras. Miss Olivia Karras, the one, the only, the queen, in my opinion, of NCAA Gymnastics. You are a rock star in the Big Ten network and just continue to help that grow and just be amazing. But the one thing that I love most about you is you are a die-hard NCAA gym fan.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's a curse, but I consider it a blessing.
I think it's definitely a blessing. And we have so much to catch up on because we are in week 8 going into week 9 of
Dang.
NCAA season. I know. It is bananas. It always flies by. Like, as an athlete, it always flew by, but I feel like on the other side, it still flies by.
I feel like this season in particular, like it's Monday now, right? And I'm already thinking to myself, what's going to happen this weekend? Like, and next thing you know, I'm going to wake up, it's going to be Friday, and I'm going to have my TV on with 12 screens ready to go.
Essentially, that's what we do. If we're not working, we're always watching. Just know.
It's true. I
But
kind of feel like I'm, what's it called? They're always watching. I'm Santa Claus.
cute.
A little
Okay.
creepy, but
I
cute.
like that. Okay. I mean, if that's, yeah, you do you, girl. I'm here for it.
I love Christmas.
I mean, same. But we don't need to go down that rabbit hole because we could really talk about the holidays. I was actually just talking about Thanksgiving the other day, and it was like, wait a second, it's February. And I was like, but I love Thanksgiving because then Christmas and then, yeah.
I fully put in an email today that it was May, and my boss was like, great email, it's March. I was like,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, cool. All right. Moving on. I love that. So, okay, we just finished up week 8.
Yes.
I am going to quickly go through right now the top 10,
Okay.
which
Hit me.
this is not, in my opinion, I was reading these and I'm like, okay, but only 8 can make it to NCAAs. And we've got like our top 10 right now is booming. You've got Oklahoma at number 1, naturally. LSU at number 2, Cal at 3, Utah at 4, Florida at 5, Kentucky at 6, Michigan at 7. I knew you'd love that. And Michigan State at 8, Alabama 9, and UCLA at 10.
Like, I'm stressed.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It is, I feel like normally in a normal season, you have your top 6 who are solid. You know what I mean? Like your top 6 are relatively solid. They've been there for pretty much the whole season. And then you have 7, 8, 9, 10. They might trickle in every now and then, but we have to talk about the honorable mentions that are on the door knocking to get into that top 10. We also have to talk about how crazy it is that LSU has not put together a solid meet away yet. They really haven't. They've put together really great routines, but they have yet to put, and I think Jay would agree, like they just haven't put home that home setting in an away setting. And he knows it. I literally just covered them. Him and his staff, they're well aware of it, but they keep pushing. Then you have Michigan, who jumped.
Yeah, that's what happens when you drop a 195.
Well, yep, that's what that is
That's
how
called
the cookie
math.
crumbles. It is. NQS is now being involved. But you have Alabama at 9, Michigan State at 8. I mean, UCLA has been rocking it. Michigan State, I I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but like we're fans. I can say
They're
that.
so good.
I
Like,
love
I've
them.
covered them now 3 times this season. I
Oh, I'm
did
jealous.
Yeah, I did I don't remember what, like, regular season meet. Then I did Michigan State at when I went to Ann Arbor, which was an incredible experience, and then just this weekend at Big Fives, and I will say that they have it. I don't know, like, you know what I mean when I say it. Like, it is gymnastics, it is chemistry, it is vibe, it is energy, it is general, like, we're here, let's do this, but let's do it and have some fun. Like, we're not here to do it and like check a box. And it is impressive. And they're doing big gymnastics. I'm like, it's interesting. And they have 7, 8, 9 in their lineups kind of knocking at the door, like, oh, I'm ready to go. And so what Mike told me on the phone is he was like, we have never had this problem. We sit down the night before the meet and we go, who's going in? And he was like, I've never had this problem. My staff's never had this problem. Like, it's a really good problem to have, but it requires a little more stress and strategy. And he's like, we've never had to do this before. We're trying to figure it out. And I think they're doing well so far, but it is interesting now that we're at that slump, this midseason we're kind of past the midseason slump, I would say. But it's like, now what do you do as you move forward to postseason and you have these viable routines?
I think there's a lot of teams feeling that way of, I know when I talked to Jay with LSU, it was like, you have a stacked roster. And he was like, I know it's kind of crazy. We really, in the beginning of season, we might have had that, but we have been notorious for having these bumps and bruises throughout season. He's like, but we are feeling good. We look at, and they do, they look incredible. I
Oh my God, they
think,
look so good.
gosh, it's like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe what I think about LSU because they perform well every single weekend, just like Michigan State. Michigan State performs well
Oh
every
yeah,
single weekend. And then you have teams like Florida who have continuously gotten better, literally scores. Like they get better and better and better every weekend. And what's crazy to me is when people say, like, well, what's the like, what is the recipe for a successful team? You can look at all these teams and be like, I have no clue.
completely different. They're all doing it different, but I kind of love that. Like, there's
Hmm.
something, I would say the only team that is consistently doing it is OU. They're in a whole
Hmm.
different stratosphere, though. I mean, like, can we talk about like a 198.675? You're joking. And the best part about it, from all the footage I've seen, it was deserved. Like, I was literally looking at some of the routines and the scores, and I was like, huh, yeah.
Hmm. I think to be honest, I think you're seeing a lot more deserved scores this
Yeah.
year. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'll be canceled for that, but I truly feel like there's way more scores that are truly deserved than we've seen in the past because we all know gymnastics is subjective, it is judged. Obviously, there are gifts when it comes to judging, but at the end of the day, I mean, just like you said, OU, man, they are good. Man, they are
Even
good.
even like Soraya Hawthorne's vault. And everyone's talking about her in the exhibition spot and sticking that vault. The vault's more dynamic, it's bigger, it's further from the table, the technique is good. It's like, what the heck drills are they doing over there? Because whatever they're doing, like whatever Lou and everyone's doing over there is working because they're making vaults that were good really good. And that's
Mhm.
impressive. I feel like it's almost you take this talent and you're like, how do you take talent like this and almost improve them? And they are. And that's
Oh, for
really
sure.
impressive.
Well, and I mean, it takes a village. And I think every program will agree to that. Like it takes a village. It takes every athlete honing in on their gymnastics. Like what is going to make me the best gymnast And I think Oklahoma has it. I think LSU right now has it. Cal, oh my gosh,
Oh, oh,
bless. I'm
oh.
here for it.
They look so good. They're another team who has it as well. Like you said, they just it just works. Like their style of gymnastics is very unique. Like you know when Cal goes, you know what you're going to get. There's that
Mhm,
expectancy of those leaps and that toe point and that just polish. Like you know you're going to get that. They're a very across the board polished team. I think they look like this. This is definitely a. It already has been a record-breaking year for them, but this is going to continue to be a record-breaking year. I think they're just
mhm.
like rolling. They're doing it.
I think regionals is going to be one of the most stressful competitions from a viewer standpoint because I don't know if there will be an easy regional. I truly
There
don't think there
won't.
will be.
I was looking today. Of course, I have a group chat with Scott Bregman and Evan Heider, and we send
Love it.
each other. I know we just send each other like things that we see, and one of the things was like a at this moment regionals. Like as if today was the end of the season when regionals was being seeded, here is what it would be or whatever. Hold on, I gotta find it because it was absurd. Like scared the bejesus out of me, absurd. Because like you said, there isn't gonna be an easy regional at all.
Which it's
Like,
so I mean, that excites me though. Like, I love that. I love that
me
every
too.
single competition, no matter if you're the home team or the away team, you have a chance to win. There's not that, "Oh, we're the
100%.
away team. There's no way we're gonna win." They don't have that anymore because everybody is just elevating their game and elevating their routines to just wow. Every single routine I feel
Right.
like in NCAA right now is just a wow moment.
Okay, so this is thank you to at Miles G. Smith for this.
Thank you.
Arkansas Regional would right now be Oklahoma, Michigan State, Arkansas, Minnesota. Yeah, your
Okay.
face that tells the story. The
Mhm.
Michigan Regional would be Michigan, LSU, UCLA, and Ohio State. That makes me want
Holy
to
moly.
puke. The
Oh,
Cal
that
Regional would be Cal, Kentucky, Denver, Auburn. And the Florida Regional would be Utah, Florida, Bama, Missouri.
huh. Well,
Heart rate
wow.
increasing as the moment continues.
So, just to clarify for those listening that are not familiar with postseason NCAA gymnastics, in order to make it to the NCAAs, you have to place in the top 2 at a regional, which is why NCAAs ends up being 8 teams. So, there's 2 teams from each regional that will qualify. Okay. With that
And these are just the
information
seeded teams. So, right, these are, we could go on and on about
right,
regionals
yes,
format, not even
for
worth it
sure.
at this point. But in terms of seeded teams, this is what it would be. And there's a
Right,
little bit of movement with, hosts and whatever of regionals.
for
But
sure.
still, the bottom line being at this moment, these would be the four seeded teams in each regional. And it gives me
Hmm.
hives.
That is the harsh truth, though, of just how much talent is in the NCAA right now. I mean, if we're looking at numbers, we're looking at the top 10. Let's not forget about all the teams that are not technically ranked in that top 10, but could easily,
Oh, yeah.
easily have a good day and knock someone out. And that's what is
Yes.
so crazy.
It's like it's our own March Madness, which I love. It's like
Mhm.
crazy. You literally don't know. And like I'm looking at the stats right now because I'm a nerd. And Penn State at 22, like this past weekend, they looked great at Big Fives. They looked great. They were nailing vaults. They're nailing beam routines. I'm like Penn State could come out and have a freaking day and knock someone out easy.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
It just makes me again, it makes me appreciate NCAA gymnastics, of course, but, like, right now, the teams that are not in the top 10 that I think they're knocking on the door. I mean,
Yeah.
they
Tell
are
me,
right
tell me what's
there.
up.
Well, you have Ohio State, who, to be honest, I didn't used to watch, and then after Liv, you and I started talking about them, I've become a fan. I think they're absolutely outstanding. I think they have so much growth and they're great. I think they're an absolute starstruck team that has more to give. They haven't even given it their all just yet. You have Missouri, who also likewise coming, I wouldn't even say that they're coming from behind, but they've basically made their footprint in the SEC and been like, "We're not going anywhere, y'all. Like, we are here. They're elevating. They're literally taking every single meet and adjusting to become that 1% better. You can tell. You can see it.
1000%.
They also have been competing so light, and it makes me so happy. Like, they look
Oh,
like they are truly out there having fun, and it's hard to do. I mean, it's hard to be focused and have fun. It really can be challenging, but they are doing a great job. You have Auburn, Arkansas, 2 teams in the SEC that still have more to give.
totally.
Iowa State making some noise. They're making some noise. I know that they are in a huge growth period. They've They've got some things going on, obviously, about bringing that level up. But again, I don't think you can count people out. And then, of course, you have Minnesota. I
Yeah.
probably missed some, and I'm sorry, but those are, in my opinion, those are some teams who could definitely make some noise. I mean,
I don't think
yes,
any of those teams have put a full meet together. I think that's part of it is like,
right.
obviously, this is NQS does averages. And so we're looking at the whole season. But like,
Mhm.
even looking at some of these like season highs and then their averages, they're all pretty similar. Like, they haven't
Mhm.
surpassed by like 4/10 that average number. I mean, Ohio
Mhm.
State in particular, like, I know so much about the program just because I covered them this past weekend, but like, they went 197 and they were sub 49 on beam.
Wow. And that's huge. That's huge.
And I was like, imagine if they had hit a beam rotation. Like, you think about that and you think, okay, so they still have more in the tank. There's still
Mhm.
more to give. I'm like, even looking here right now, that Arkansas's season high is a 197.5. This team can certainly get higher than that.
Yep.
No questions asked. Like, it's
Mhm.
so interesting that we're now seeing, now's the time where it's like, who's going to make that shift? I think a good amount of teams are.
For sure, and that's a good point to bring up of, like, the mid-season. We call it, like, the mid-season slump. As an athlete, I know I used to get, like, and I just had this conversation with Bart because Haley Bryant has been doing all around every single meet. That is very hard on your body. I personally cannot imagine doing that, and Bart asked me, he was like, "Well, did you do all around every single meet?" And I was like, "Not even close." Not even
Oh,
close.
really?
No. My freshman year, I might have a little bit more, like, sophomore. I was hurt most of my junior years, that doesn't really count, and maybe my senior year only because I, like, knew how to train better to, like, keep myself healthy.
That's how I was.
Oh, yeah, but, like, my freshman year, I was livid. I was that bratty child, student, athlete, I was a hot mess. Angry, annoyed that I wasn't an all around, yet I had no business being an all around because that expectation of doing all around every single meet, it's very grueling on your body. You have to know how to train, you have to know how to recover. I am the queen of bad recovery. I hated ice baths, I hated stretching. It's really amazing that I got far in life in gymnastics because I did not like doing the maintenance work. And when
Yeah.
I got to college, it was like, Bridget, you don't have a choice. You have to work on the maintenance part. And so I'm pretty sure my freshman year, I might have competed all around 3, 4 times max. And that's like maybe 5 times, including like postseason. That was it. So it's a
It's a lot.
strategy game, but it's a strategy game of, like, every athlete is gonna be different. Every single
Right.
athlete they're gonna react differently, all these things, and some of these teams have just figured it out. Like, I'm sorry, LSU, you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
have it figured out. You guys have some outstanding all-arounders, not to mention, if your all-arounders need a break, you have so many people. You have so many people that you could put in, which is Huge. It takes
That's
that
what's
stress, and maybe
crazy.
that's why, but maybe that's why all-arounders right now are almost doing better because they're not stressed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're performing lighter, they're I don't know. Performing lighter is literally the first thing that came to my head, but it's like because they don't have that stress of, like, "I have to be an all-around because we don't have anybody to fill my spot."
Right. Right. I do think what's interesting too about LSU in general is, of course, Alona going down was so sad. Like she looked so great in preseason. Like that just like was a heartbreak for a lot of people.
Mhm.
I think what's amazing is that you're starting to see people like Ashley Cowan come in. Her
Mhm.
bars is incredible. Then you see people like Alexis Jeffrey's doing beam now. Like you're seeing some
Mhm.
of it go in. And it's interesting because they're definitely playing around with that a little bit more. But you think about a Haley Bryant, she's irreplaceable. She's
Right.
one of those athletes that's irreplaceable, and everyone
Right.
knows that. And it's not like a cocky thing. It's like her
No.
gymnastics is just across the board so stinking good. She gives me
Mhm.
like Sierra Brooks vibes in that they're like just their aura is you can't replace that. But I think it is
Mhm.
great that they've clearly figured out how to manage her body. And especially, I think there's something unique besides the fact that she's a forward tumbler. I think there's something really interesting about that. And I'm no, trainer, I have no medical background, but I think it would be interesting to know in terms of just like tumbling forward and what that does for your body versus tumbling backward. I'd be very interested in like knowing the science behind that because I feel like you hear all the horror stories about double tucks, double backs, double lays, et cetera, et cetera. And she's found this
Mhm.
secret sauce of, oh, let's just do double front. Okay. Like, let's do a sky high double front and call it a day. Like, so impressive, but clearly there's something there that's good on the body.
I have never thought of that, and now my mind is really ticking because wow. I
Right?
mean, landing forward is so much nicer on your
And
body.
that's why I did
I
an
would
Arabian. I had to land forward. I had to. There
Oh,
was no questions asked.
yeah, no big deal. That's why I did a double Arabian, of course.
I couldn't do a double A. A double A was my dream skill. Let me be clear. It was my
Oh.
dream skill. I trained it for years. It was always crunched. Like it, and then I was done with floor for the day, for the week. Let's be
Mhm.
clear. The day is a little low key, the week. So like it was just not worth it. And respect to Bev just being like, I know you want to do this, but it's just not. It's not. And so once I got that under my bed, I was like, okay, but like I could train Arabians all day because I landed forward. It was great. But like the landing backward, still get the zing. Like I feel it up my leg. I
Mm,
like, oh,
mm. We don't need to talk about that. I trained a double layout for, I think, 2 years, never competed it, never, ever. It was pretty good, yet I didn't like I watch all these athletes and I'm like, "What is it like to bounce out of a tumbling pass?" Like, I more
right.
so, like, would land and it was like, "Oh, there she's done. Oh, that was it." Like, I don't know what it's like to have that, like, second spring, like, I don't know. I don't know what that's like, but I'm now really thinking how many like, I would love to compare Haley Bryant's joints to mine. That's actually not a good comparison. That was
I
a
was about to
horrible
say,
comparison. Exit that, ignore that. But I bet her body, like, her joints are in such good shape. I'm so
yeah,
jealous.
yeah. Oh, I know. I don't know. I thought about that recently in terms of like front tumbling. I know like Bella Salcedo on Penn State's team, she tumbles forward. She's a half on front pike off on vault. Like it's interesting when you see these like
Oh my
athletes who are
gosh.
forward tumblers, like they're just much more comfortable with it. And you're like,
Yeah,
huh, you're doing it right. If I could go back and just forward tumble and figure it out, you're doing it right.
that is so like, again, those are things that I never would have thought of, and now that you're mentioning it, I'm like, "Huh,
Welcome to the
you
brain is
make a
smart.
re" You make a really good point, Liv.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we've talked about Utah. I
Utah.
think yeah.
Dark, almost like a dark horse. Not dark horse because they're great,
Mhm.
but like they will be that team that consistently will just sneak right under you.
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
yes. Mhm. They've got loads of talent. They I Here's my thing though, can they deliver during NCAA championships?
I I don't
And
know.
that's
I
not
mean, I
even a
feel like
hit on any of them. It's just that's how you win an NCAA championship, is you
absolutely.
walk in there and you know that you can do it, you don't even question.
Right. And it's almost like that all of these teams are just struggling with like that final, like you have three like lights out rotations and then ones
Mhm,
that's like, everyone's kind of going through that. It's
mhm.
so interesting and it changes every meet. That's
Yeah.
what's interesting too, is it's not like consistently beam or consistently this. But
Mhm.
you and I said this in 2022 when we were sitting with John and Sam. We said the team that wins NCAAs is going to stick three or more vaults. And who did it? Michigan in 2021 stuck three vaults, 2022, Oklahoma, and 2023, Oklahoma. It is going to be vaults. I'm telling you, that's where everyone's giving away tens because it's just like
100%.
that's going to be it. It's like, can you stick three or more vaults?
Vault is the new beam. Like, beam used to be the make or break event,
1000%. It's
and now
vault.
it has turned to vault, and what I love to see, this is what I love though, is some team again, it totally depends on the team, the talent, what they have available. There are
Right.
teams out there that do not have 6 athletes with a perfect 10 vault,
That's
but
right.
man, those 995 vaults are
With the stuck landing.
huge.
You talk about Shay Campbell's vault. When she sticks that thing, freaking
Oh
falls
my
out of the
gosh.
air, stuck perfectly. Like that's a 10-0, that's a 995 vault I want in my lineup. Like
Oh my
Skylar
gosh.
Schulte, I want that in my lineup. You would never make her do a 1.5 because the full is
Mhm.
so good. So it's interesting that
KJ's
strategy too. Oh, KJ,
her vault,
to die.
I normally don't have good words for it because I'm just like, uh, wow." I
It's
mean,
incredible.
it's textbook. It's truly textbook.
And that was like back in the day, like when I was Sarah Finnegan and I were the same, quad of gymnastics.
We were the
And
same era.
we were the same era. And that full, I mean, come on, 995
Mhm.
almost every time because it was just like pristine. And when you have that, you have to play the strategy game. When you go into NCAAs in regionals, round 1, 2 of regionals, semifinals, and then national four on the floor, are you going to put up the harder vault with the opportunity for the athlete to sit it down or fly forward? Or are you going to drop in the full and get the 9-9? Like, I don't know.
That is the $1,000,000 question.
It is. It totally is. And it's like once these teams start sticking vaults, and I really
Mhm.
truly hope in this postseason we get a lot of stuck vaults because
Mhm.
that's what's going to make it interesting. Because
Oh,
all
100%.
these teams are great on the other events. Like you think about it, and it's like really once we start getting some stuck vaults, that's where it's going to be tense, and people are going to be fighting for tenths. It's not going to be blowouts.
I mean, we say this every year, it always comes down to the final routine, like who's gonna stick, but in reality, we're not wrong. We're actually 100% right because it comes down to who sticks their bar dismount, who hits their handstand. You can do amazing gymnastics, but if you're missing 2 handstands, you're
And a
not
step on the
sticking a
dismount.
dismount. It's like you're basically giving your opponent, "Here, you go first. You take that victory."
Right.
And those are the little things too that it's like it's hard. You don't wanna think about them because then they won't happen, but you
Right.
also don't wanna not think about them and just let yourself go.
And I think it's important too, like, this past weekend at Big Fives, Iowa went over to bars and Marissa Rojas does a kip handstand and falls over. And I'm thinking to myself, and I said it on the broadcast, that's an aggressive mistake. I mean, if I was Quest, I'd probably say maybe do that in week 2 of competition, not at this point. However, I give props because you could do the dinky little handstand if you're
Mhm.
off or whatnot, or you're nervous, and take the 10th and a half, 2 tenths. I mean, okay, I get it. Like I understand why you're going for those the cast and that's it. Like hit your handstand, stick your dismounts. That is the secret sauce for bars. That's it. That's if you literally do that, you're good to go.
Right. I think too though, like that's a real I like that. That's an aggressive mistake. I do think in this point in the season, falling on cast handstands, you would hope that they have that comes with experience. That comes with knowing your swing better. That comes with
Right,
like having that air awareness of knowing, oh God, I'm gonna go over on this. I better
right,
lock out as hard as I can to
right.
hold it. That comes with experience. I hear you loud and clear. That will come. Like totally that will come.
Agreed.
But the amount of short cast handstands I've been seeing here recently, I'm like, "Come on, ladies. Come on." I'm
It's
like,
the
"That's
full turn element, you know? It's like,
oh
I'm
my
nervous
gosh."
to wobble on the full turn, and that's always when you wobble on the full turn, right? When you say you're nervous.
Mhm.
But it's that element, "Oh, it's just a handstand." It's not just a handstand actually, because that's what's gonna separate it all. That and the dismount. Because at the end of the day, the Maloney Bale could be good, the Jaeger could be good, everything could be good. Hit your handstand, stick your dismount. I mean, that's the first handstand, that's what they're thinking of. The last handstand before
Mhm.
the dismount, that's all they're thinking of. They saw the
For
rest on
sure.
their paper like you just hit all the requirements.
Well, ladies, I hope you're listening in. Liv has some great tips and tricks for, bars. But no, I mean that but
I
at the
can't
end of
believe
the
you
day,
just
it
said
really is.
Liv has great tips and tricks for bars. That's like a saying that never should have been said in college.
Well, now you are. Now we're saying it. It's called growth, Liv. It's called growth.
Okay, Bridget, I have a question for you.
That's not how this works. Normally, I ask the questions, but continue.
Of the teams in the like 11 through 16, like 11 through 16, 11 through
I don't
18,
wanna play this game.
who is your one that you're the most like danger? Like that team is danger.
I don't know.
Yes, I know you have opinions, and so I
Of
want
course
to
I do.
know.
Of course I have opinions, but I only looked at the top 10, so tell me who is in the top 16. And
Okay,
this is
so
gonna hurt
11
my
is
soul because I think I know, but I'm gonna make it seem like I don't know.
okay, so 11 is Denver,
Oh my god.
12
Okay.
is Arkansas,
Jeez.
13 Missouri, 14 Auburn, 15 Ohio State, 16 Minnesota.
Oh, you mean all the ones that I said not in the top 10, but knocking on the door? Every single one of them. Every single one of them. But if I had to pick I'm stressed. I'm
I'm sorry for
stressed.
stressing
I'm
you out.
sweating. I'm sweating. I pick one. I get one. My gut, my gut says Denver. And I say that because they've already been in those situations. Like they've been to the national championships. They've been in those pressure situations. But my what I also who I also want to say is Missouri because they had the Cinderella year. They again, a team that has a lot of talent. It has totally changed their approach, it looks like, to competitions this year. Like they've they have this edge that they really didn't have before. You know, they kind of went through the motions of competition where now I feel like they go in and they've got grit, they've got determination. They really have it all this year. But I also really like Ohio State.
I would say those are
Those are the
Missouri,
3 that
Missouri and
I
Ohio
feel like they're
State.
there. Right.
Yeah, Missouri to me is like they walk in with party hats and they throw a party
Mhm.
when they do
Love
gymnastics.
it. Here for that.
Ohio State to me is a not that they don't have as much fun. It's different fun. It's more
Mhm.
focused fun, but I think that they have also found something that they just haven't like put it all in its spot. And I feel like Missouri is that same way, just in totally different
Mhm.
ways. There are programs that do things completely different, but I love
Totally.
that. And I'm excited about those two as well. I think they're like when you have them in a regional, you're like oofta, you know?
Mhm. But let's not forget I literally I can't forget about Arkansas because again, a program that is they're still climbing to put that meet together. And that's not a bad thing. Like, it's
right,
real it's not a that's not a hit well, first of all, we never are hitting on any program negatively, but that's not a hit on them that they're still working to put a great meet together. They've put good meets together. They totally have. They just beat Kentucky at home. It was a really good meet, but they definitely left some tenths on the floor. They left some tenths, so to me, it's like they haven't even put together a full meet. They
right,
haven't put together a great meet, which is the same. It's like all these like,
right.
oh, I'm stressed. I'm
Not
stressed.
to mention, this is just like a personal thing that like I feel like I need to see happen, but like Frankie Price should absolutely compete for a floor title.
I feel that also. I feel like,
Like
gosh.
yes, she is the quality of floor that matches
Mhm.
with the others that compete for that title. You
Oh,
know? She
completely,
has it. She has it. She's
completely.
the full package. And I would be
Mhm,
really sad if we didn't get to see her do that on the national stage because I think her routine would be a up it's we're all that's what we're trying to reach. We're trying to reach that level
mhm.
of performance, tumbling, sass, fun, musical, just genuine
Right.
like musical brilliance. Like she hears the music and everything
Mhm.
she does is like matched to the music. So I don't know. That's like a personal thing that I would be very, very sad if we didn't get to see her at nationals.
I would also be sad. And I also have been really working on my manifesting skills because I am manifesting a lot of perfect tens for athletes these days, and I'm not doing a good job. She is one of them. I am manifesting Audrey Davis from Oklahoma on bars. I know. I know.
That's
I know.
actually probably it's like, everyone always says like, the internet can never agree on things. Sure, we all have opinions. Everyone agrees that Audrey Davis beats a 10. I mean, it's just at this point, it's honestly like a joke. Like, what are we waiting for? You
I
know?
know.
It's
But I
also
know.
the hardest routine.
Oh, 100%, but I know she would never take one just given. Like, she wants to earn it.
Never,
She wants to earn
never.
it, and I love watching her gymnastics in general. I think every athlete from OU has a unique style to them. Like, it's weird. I'm like, "Okay, you're all under the same umbrella. Obviously, you all have the same coaches, but everyone has this sense of their own self and style
That's right.
that comes out but I feel like it comes out on, like, all the events. Like, it's not just
Yeah, it's
floor.
not
It's not
right.
just
I was about to
beam.
say.
And Audrey has this style on bars that just, oh my gosh, it just makes me so excited to watch her, and I just watch her in awe, and I'm
Oh, I
waiting.
know.
I told her, "I'm manifesting this for you," and she's like, "Oh, that's so nice," and I was like, "No, know this. I am putting it in the universe that when the time is right, you will get one because you deserve it, and I know you're capable of it." But Frankie is another one, her floor there's a couple right now that I'm like, "How?
I know.
How?"
I
I
know.
mean,
And
and we can
it's so
talk about perfect
confusing.
tens. I mean, we
Honestly, we
can.
should because I think there have been, it's interesting because earlier we were saying that we don't feel like people have been given scores as much. And when it comes to tens, like for the most part, I would kind of agree with that. I would say that there have been pretty tens that are tenny, so to speak.
I like that. I like
Like,
that.
I have that's a Kathy line, I can't steal that from Ca without
10s that
quoting
are
Kathy,
10-y.
but
I
there
love
are
it.
10s that are 10-y, like, you see something and you go, "That's a 10." Yes, it should be a 10, like, 1,000,000,000% it should be a 10, and, like, I almost feel like there's been more of a discrepancy in, like, the 995, 9925 range this year
Yes.
than 10s, which has been so interesting.
Agreed. Agreed. I will say I apologize to any meet that I ever call, and if I call that it's gonna be a 10, it's normally not. It's normally not. I like, maybe I need to stop manifesting for other people because I'm like 0 for 4 in routines that I'm like, "Oh, I saw no deduction," and then it's like 995. I'm like, "Oh, well, apparently there was one." Like, never mind.
I always
But I
wonder,
do
I'm like, "What did you take? Just tell
I
me.
know. I always wanna know, like, "Can I see your paper?" Not that I'm
I
gonna
just
know how
wanna
to read it because 'cause
know."
I'm not a judge, but, like, what I think it's more here's my thing, here's my hot take on it. What am I what are we both seeing that you are seeing differently, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because there are definitely time Aaliyah Finnegan's perfect 10 on floor over the weekend, beautiful. A
Back to
She
back too.
performs,
That thing
but
is
she
so good.
performs to a level that it's like, you can't teach that. Like, you either have it or you don't, and she clearly has it. Same with Leanne's on floor, like, just outstanding performances, but I'd be kicking myself if I didn't mention KJ's floor routine was stunning. It
I
was
mean, what else does she
stunning.
have to do? Like, that's what it's almost like you get that 995 and you're like, "What else?" Literally, what
I
else?
know. But I also it makes me very I don't like that athletes think about that because they do.
I know. I
You
mean,
know that they're
you're human.
thinking, "What else do I have to do? What more do I have to give when I'm giving it my all?" And it makes me it I don't wanna say it makes me sad. It doesn't make me sad, but I'm like, "Don't think about it."
Right.
That's the worst thing you can do is just think about, "I want this 10, I want this 10." But there are definitely routines out there that are so deserving of
Oh, I
that,
know.
and I would give it to you. That's probably why I'll never be a judge, because I
Yeah,
would
I
give
could
it to you.
never. I wanna take the test, but I would never actually do it. I just wanna know my stuff, you know? But I would never do
Oh,
it.
I feel like I should do that, but I'm not going to. But I like where your head's
Understood.
at.
I'll give you a teach-in. I'll give you a teach-in.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. You can give me a little judging 101. You can fill me in. That would be great because I do, but it is, I think, as an analyst, I probably should do it. But it would be interesting just to see like
Right.
what the judges take, like and again, it's so subjective, which we all know, and I'm not going down that rabbit hole of it being so subjective, but it is. I mean, one judge's look at a step could be a tenth and a half, and another one's could only be a tenth. Like, it really and
Right.
that's kind of the "eh" about it, it's like, I wish
Well, it's
that it
also
would be easier.
the 1-second hold. Now, what's interesting is in the Big
Ooh.
10, the 1 second is very, very long. And I think that's because historically, the Big 10 has just, I would say historically, I'm not talking the last 5 years. I'm saying
Mhm.
historically. The Big 10
Okay.
has been gypped on stuff like that. Like it's just been, the judges have been very to the book with those types of things. And it is very interesting watching meets this year and going, quite 1 second. And okay, that was about two and change. Like it's very
Right.
interesting to see how clearly the coach is providing direction on
Mhm.
make sure you're Mississippiing when you're staying there so that the judge knows you're showing control. That's been interesting. And
Mhm.
some of the athletes, like I've seen some dismounts and everyone's like on their toes, gripping the ground with their
Trying to
heels together.
hold.
And I'm like, talk about freaking strength, first of all. Second of all, like the athlete thinking about that. And I was one of those people that when I did something and I was excited. Having to like
Mhm.
hold your composure and
Oh.
showing control and then doing it's also the whole flow of it is so fascinating, but like the discrepancy between what some teams and conferences think of 1 second versus others I'm going to
Right.
be very interested to see how that plays out at nationals and regionals.
Oh, for sure, and I think okay, so for those listening, that is a new rule this year, is holding judges wanna see you do your dismount, do your landing, and hold it, and it is for is it 1
Well, you
second or
have to, it's
2?
1 second, but you have to hold the, when you
Like
land,
the
heels
right,
together and like salute arms. That's the 1 second.
okay, okay. L Some people's 1 second is a little bit quicker than others.
It's
I've
hilarious. Like,
I've
it's
seen a
funny to
handful
me.
that I'm like but I am interested to see, just like you said, like, will it be strongly enforced? Because that
Right.
is very important, especially and it needs to be across the board, like, "All right,
100%.
ladies, we're gonna really enforce it," or, "Hey, it's not crucial to us," which it should be. Just like on vault, I'm sorry, can we talk about why the lines are there, but we're not really I
Okay, you took the words out of my mouth because this weekend on the broadcast, there were a couple athletes who landed outside the lines. It's not a flat deduction like on floor, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And I received a Twitter message from someone who was very nice, and they were like, could you explain on the broadcast more like
That's
what are the
nice.
what are the lines like some I understand but some people might not get it, and I'm thinking to myself that is such a keen comment because like you hear flat 1/10 deduction on floor,
Mhm.
and then you got these lines people are like landing all over the place on, and I would love to know if judges are actually looking at the foot placement on the line and going, okay, they're over to the right, okay, they're over to the left,
Mhm.
dead in the middle, like I would put $100 on no, but I would love to know if judges are actually taking that because the lines to me are silly if they're confusing for viewers if we're not going to use them.
I always say like, gosh, and this I can't believe I'm admitting this. But, like, I think the lines are there to show like, obviously, it shows misdirection. It
It
shows that you're off
should.
to the side. Okay, you're landing. But I I mean, are judges taking that into consideration or is 'cause I mean, I should get a judge on here. That's what I need to
Like,
do.
are they taking the 1 second to acknowledge control off to the right? I don't
It's an
know.
excellent question. It's a
It's
very
it's so interesting, and it was I was really like when that person messaged me, I was like, that is totally valid because I actually like don't really know how to better explain to viewers. You're
right.
seeing these lines and athletes are landing over it, but there's no like arm raise like on floor.
Mhm.
And I don't
Oh my
think there
gosh,
should
right?
be. But like, yeah, and you're like,
Oh my
dang,
gosh.
there's no arm raise. I don't think there should be an arm raise. But in terms
Right.
of like what the purpose of it is, I would hope they're using it. But this is another conversation for postseason. Like, if we're going to do it consistently. If we're going
Yeah.
to do the 1 second hold, do it consistently. Like, then I'm
Mhm.
fine with it if it's consistent.
Right.
But if we're just kind of tossing it around here and there, can't do that.
Come on. Get out of
Come
here.
on.
Don't even it's I mean, those are the first of all, shout out to whoever sent you that DM because that's really nice of them to ask you nicely instead of
It
yelling
was
at you over
so
Twitter.
pleasant. It was so pleasant. I was like, "Oh, that's actually really great insight," because, yeah, if I'm a newbie, watch gymnastics, I see these lines, I see people landing over them, and no one's really telling me anything as an
Right.
analyst. You're like,
Right.
"Okay, so what does that even mean? Like, was it good? And but
Mhm.
she stepped over? Does that make it less good?" Well, yeah, there's a direction error, but, like, it was an interesting it got my wheels turning because I was like, "That's totally true." As viewers watching, you're like, "Can you please explain to me why this is
Mhm.
there?"
I know. I think that I know for me that's one of the hardest thing about being an analyst is making sure that I'm explaining it in a educational way, not just
Totally.
saying it flat out and then having, again, like someone DM me what does that mean? Because I always think I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't explain it at all. Okay. Like
It's hard.
literally,
It's so hard.
my sister, I hope she listens to this. She was talking about an episode that I was explaining a double double. And I've had a couple people that are like, what's that? And I'm like, in my head, it makes perfect sense, but in your brain, it probably sounds
It
like
won't.
foreign language. And I was like, wow, okay. And I'm like, okay, note to self, always explain or try to
Right.
explain when things, because it is true. It's like the whole goal is making sure that a viewer understands what's happening.
Totally.
That can be really challenging because gymnastics is not a black and white sport. It is not, it can be very confusing with all the things going on, which I don't even think we need to get into elite gymnastics, which is a whole nother ball game.
Right.
But there's a lot of gray area, I feel like sometimes that, it's like in my head, and I'm sure in your head, it's like that makes perfect sense. And then it's like, wait a second, let me explain.
Totally. I always challenge myself to Like whenever I'm doing a broadcast, I try to challenge myself to say, if Bev Plocky and my 95th-year-old grandmother were sitting in the same room watching the same thing, did they both come away with a good experience of no, like that was technical enough for me and that was educational enough for me. That's my like gauge. I'm like, does Grandma Tony and Bev Plocky, do they both have a good experience? That's like how I think about it. Because I'm like, you have to assume the Bev Plockies of the world are watching, and you have to assume the grandmas of the world are watching, their granddaughter or their whomever, their daughter's a
Mhm.
coach, their granddaughter's a coach. You never know. So you have to assume that there's like very vast different audiences. And I think that's why, a lot of people like to make fun of little like isms we say on the internet, on TV or whatever on the internet. Like it's wicked hard when you're in the moment
Mhm.
and you're saying these things, you're trying to catch your breath, words
Right.
fly out of your mouth. You're like, I'm just trying to get this. I have someone in my ear telling me we're moving to the next rotation. I've got whatever. Like it's really hard, and so people don't get that a lot. That's my little like TV thing. I would love for everyone to take a turn in the booth and do it with all the screens, seeing everything you're seeing, have the producer in your ear saying, talk quicker, talk slower while you're still talking, right? Like you can't just
That's my
stop talking to
favorite.
listen to them. You have to keep going. So it's not on air. You're like, and then keep going. Like you don't get that. You talk. And so it's like people don't get how
Mhm.
hard that is sometimes. They just think you see something and you talk about it. It's like, oh no, there's a
Right.
whole ordeal.
Oh, that's so true, having them
Welcome
in
to
your
my
ear,
TED
like,
Talk.
10 seconds, and you're like, "But my statement is 25 seconds long." Oh
They're like,
gosh.
literally, like you're in a quad meet and you're watching a vault, and they're like, "We're going to bars next, then we're going to beam, and then we're split screening this." And I'm like, I can't even comprehend what you're saying right now. I'm just trying to get out a sentence.
Oh my gosh. I always tell them, I'm like, "Be in my ear as much as you want. There's no guarantee that I'm gonna be, like, actively listening, but you can be in there. Just know you
It's
can be in my
flutter.
ear." But I'm like, depending on what's happening, I'm like, "I don't know." But yeah,
Totally.
that is so true. It's not I know people I think sometimes we assume that it's just like, "Oh, you see it and you talk about it," and it's like,
Right.
"Oh, there's a little bit more that goes into it." That is part of it. That is part of it. Okay, well, so we still have the rest of season to go. So
Yeah.
my question to you, how much change do you think is gonna be in this top 10?
I have to look at it again.
Well, so right now, I'll go first. I'll answer it.
Yeah, you answer.
I think I don't know what I think. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, here's the thing. The top 8 right now, again, like we mentioned, they go to regionals, which these are just the top 10 seeded,
Six,
top
16 seated.
16. Thank you. Oh my gosh. The top 16 that are seeded, they will go on to like they're kind of guaranteed to go to regionals, obviously taking that step to essentially try to qualify for NCAAs. But at said regionals, it will only be 2 teams per regional. So 4 regionals, 2, that's where we get the 8. But
Right. Right.
right now, I mean, if I'm just looking, gosh,
I mean, Bama's 9. In my
I
opinion,
know.
that's gonna move, but I'm thinking to myself,
Agreed.
so then
But
who
who's
moves? Because Michigan State's looked great, Michigan's looked
Mhm.
great, Kentucky's been on fire, like, those are the
Yep.
danger zone, right? Like, right there. But I'm
Mhm.
like, UCLA hasn't put a full meet together.
I agree.
So they're 10, they're knocking at the door. So it's very interesting to see. I think there's gonna be shuffle. I think
Yeah.
we might come away by the time regionals happens, we might come away with a very similar top 8, but
Mhm.
I think up until then, things are gonna move. Like, I think there's gonna be some flux, and not to
Yeah.
mention, a lot of teams have had a lot of home meets and not as many away, and vice
Mhm.
versa. So there's also
Totally.
opportunity there for, like, different scores based on away or home, and so that's
Right.
interesting too, how some people might have been home the last 3 weeks, and then they go away for 3 weeks, and they have
Mhm.
the chance to, like, cook up some better scores away and knock out maybe an early season away meet that has been lingering there, you know?
Totally. Yeah. Well, and I think too, I mean, if you can put up a solid away score, you can do it anywhere. I
100%.
mean, That was, like, the whole thing that Jay talked to us last week about was he wants his athletes to take that home crowd energy, that home crowd like, take that and apply it to an away meet because it
Yeah,
does. It totally boosts your confidence knowing I
100%.
can hit a 198 plus at an away meet, sky's the limit.
Totally.
You know, it
Absolutely.
and
It's
that
like create your own
mindset
energy from within. Yes,
100%, 100%, and that mindset, that change in mindset can literally be the difference of making
totally.
it to nationals, making it to the second day, making it to those finals, making it to that number 1 spot. I mean, it's crazy what that little shift can ultimately lead to.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. The top 8 right
Crazy.
now, the top 10, the top 16 right now, like, I think there's gonna be a lot of movement, but I
Mhm.
think I don't know. There's gonna be movement, and I like that, but
I do
I
too.
also
I
just
think
wanna
there's
see put
such a
together
nice
me.
mix. I think there's such a nice mix right now. It's not I mean, there is no oh my gosh, I'm, like, trying to make sure my eyes I mean, you've got Pac-12,
Oh, I
you've
know.
got the Big 12, you've got the SEC, you've got the Big 10, you've I mean, and I love that. I really love that. I love the variety that it's not just, you know, all SEC schools, majority
Yeah,
Big 10. Like, it truly is a
I
healthy
love it.
mix. And even going to I mean, even going down though, the top 16, it's a healthy mix of everybody, and that just is what excites me for postseason. That's why postseason is my all-time favorite. It was my favorite as an athlete, and it's even more my favorite as an analyst because it is
Totally.
so fun. It is electric. The environment is electric no matter what it is, whether it's a conference championship, whether it's regionals, well, obviously NCAAs is a whole 'nother animal, but it
Beast.
is just so fun to see these athletes rise to every occasion, and whose day is it gonna be?
And talk about creating your own energy at nationals when a whole section is screaming for one team. You have to figure out, I'm about to do a beam routine while OU's on floor, and OU travels brilliantly. So you have an
Yes, they do.
incredibly loud, fun OU section, and you're about to do a beam routine. Like you have to figure out, how do I do this? Do I get intimidated and listen to the noise, or do I stay in my world and find my teammates' voices? That's why
Mhm.
NCAAs is fun. I think a good amount of teams travel very well to NCAAs. And that's where it gets fun when
Oh,
you
yeah.
see the sections of parents, alums, fans, etc.
Mhm.
Like that's where you get this like really fun atmosphere, but you still within that have to figure out your groove. You can't just like, you know, it gets intense.
It does get intense. I mean, it is the happiest time of the year, in my opinion, for gymnastics season is postseason. I cannot wait for the rest well, I can't wait for the rest of season, of course, but I am really looking forward to postseason and what it's gonna bring, and all of the gosh, it's just gonna it's like giving me goosebumps because it's
I literally
just
just
gonna
got
be
chills.
so crazy
Yeah.
that they I mean, only 8 teams will make it to NCAAs, and right now, again, we've got 16 that are easily in the hunt. Oh
And
gosh, that's so
individuals,
cool.
obviously individuals go, you wanna go with your team.
Of
But,
course,
like,
yes.
it is also, I would say, important for the sake of some of these teams that, might have an incredible day and another team had an incredible day and just edge them out. It is lovely that you get individuals. It would be so sad to not see some of these athletes, so I think
For
that's
sure.
awesome, and more representation of different conferences too. A lot of times you'll get different conference representation, but
Mhm.
yeah, this top 8, I don't know. I don't know. I
I know, we talk so much about teams. That is really important to know that there will be individuals for all around and events all showing and making an appearance at NCAAs to and how many times have there been individuals who win? A lot.
A
That happens
lot.
all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
That happens all the time.
And it's
So
also so
exciting.
heartwarming when the teams take in the individuals. Like, I just love that. Like,
Mhm.
you don't wanna be there without your team, it sucks. But there's something so lovely about the camaraderie of another team and potentially, like, keeping in touch with some of those girls after rotating with them and
For
getting to know
sure.
their energy, like, that's really cool too. I think that's a fun element of the sport, and then you think about Arena Worley, oh, we could go on for her about her forever, but you think about her and having gone to nationals a lot as an individual, and then Kentucky goes. And so it's
Mhm.
like so special to have someone like her as a leader, but also to say, I've been there, let's treat the individual the way I was treated. Like, I think that's really
Right.
awesome too.
Oh, I mean, it really is it's just a really cool event as a spectator, as an athlete, no matter what your role is at NCAAs, it is the best meet of the year.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I'm so excited.
I am too. Well, Liv, do you have anything else to give the people about, well, life, NCAA,
Life,
anything?
if anyone knows someone at Dunkin' Donuts, let me know because I would love
Oh,
to work with them.
oh,
Gymnastics
you heard it.
wise, obviously I work mainly with the Big Ten, and I will say I've been very impressed with the Big Ten as a whole. And I don't know how many teams are going to make it from the Big Ten this year, but I am hopeful that many people stay up to date with not just like your usuals of Big Ten, but make sure you're watching for the Penn States and for the Nebraskas and for the Marylands of the world because I'm seeing good and I'm excited to see more. So that for me is like I'm very proud of my conference. I see a lot of growth that's happening. It's good. And it's going to grow next year. So interesting things.
I love it. I love it. Well, I cannot wait. Obviously, we have the rest of regular season, and then you have your conference championships, and then on to regionals and NCAAs. But there is still a couple weeks left of season, so it is definitely not over yet. And this is kind of these are those moments where it's like, we got to do this. Like, we have two options. We either push and we, work on the little details or we don't. And I think like you said, I think there's going to be a shuffle of the top teams. I don't necessarily, I have no idea what's going to happen. Let's be honest. I don't have a magic ball. I have no idea what is going to happen, but I agree with you. I think there's going to be a little bit of a shuffle, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to be the top 8 that make it. I don't know what that's going to look like,
Couldn't tell you.
but I'm excited. I am
Same.
excited about it.
I'm flipping
Oh,
out.
oh my gosh, guys. I didn't even pay her to say that. Wow. I mean, I'm flipping out too. Jeez. Well, Liv, you are so wonderful. Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to have you on the podcast. My first returning guest. Should have probably mentioned that in the beginning, but
That's okay.
thank you so much. You're wonderful. What meets do you have left on your schedule?
I am doing Big Tens, so I will be doing the afternoon session and the evening session of Big Tens on what is that? I think it's like the 23rd or something, whatever that Saturday of championships is. So I'm
Oh,
excited.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I am so pumped for you. I hope it all goes well. And I mean, I will obviously be seeing you for postseason. So get excited. Maybe we'll do like a live. I
Oh
wonder if
yeah.
there would be a way to do like a live. We'll talk. I'll talk to some
Where
people,
there's a
see if we can
will,
get
there's
that.
a way, Bridget. Where there's a will, there's
You
a
got
way.
it. You got it. Well, Liv, thank you as always. You're wonderful. You're great. Keep kicking butt and just being you because you're just a beautiful human.
No, thanks. Back at you.
That wraps up today's episode on Flipping Out with Bridget Sloan. I am your host, Bridget Sloan, and I just want to say thank you to all those who are listening. And please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And be sure to tune in every Wednesday where we will be dropping episodes of the amazing guests that I have lined up for you. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's make some good life choices out there. And don't forget to be awesome. Bye, guys.